Welcome back to Math Beyond the Classroom at Misericordia University. I'm having a little camera issue, so that's why my little face isn't showing up in the corner, but we can still do this anyways. And what I want to do is show you another card trick and show you some of the mathematics that's behind it. And once again, this is going to be a card trick that depends on the math of placement. So here's the trick. I have a standard deck of cards. Notice if I pull it out, make sure I didn't miss anything. You can look and see there's not in any particular order as we look through these cards. You can see that these cards look almost mixed up. And okay, so I got cards in a nice random order. One of the things you've learned throughout this time of COVID especially is that if you take enough time, you can actually go through these cards quickly and memorize the placement of every single card. So let me just do that real quick because every time I pull them out, they're in a different order. Okay, sure. And then we got a bunch of dark ones. There's another card. Okay, so I'm talented. I'm pretty good at memorizing these things, but I'm not so good that I can shuffle them and still remember because shuffling messes them up. But I can cut them as many times as I want, and I can still keep an idea of what the order is. So let me put my money where my mouth is. So let's pick a card, any card at random. So let's suppose you have somebody pick that card. Knowing that card has been picked, I can look through the cards real quick and go da 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 da. I have to make the music to go with it and know exactly what card was picked. Okay, I know, for instance, that this top card, this one here, is the Queen of Spades. Here, let me show you that again. So, cut the deck a couple times. Let's put them in a strange order. Let me get my brain working. Okay. Pick a card at random, any card that you want. Let's suppose it's that one. And now let's figure out what that is. So I look through the cards real quick and say, what card could that possibly be? And sometimes if I'm going too quick, I have to do it a second time. I don't think that's the case this time. I think this case, this is the Jack of Diamonds. And there it is, the Jack of Diamonds. So I clearly have not memorized this deck entirely because I don't know of anybody that can do it. So there's got to be some hidden trick to where the placement of the cards are that allows me to keep in mind which card is one that's missing. And the trick is actually pretty simple, and it really is a placement idea. What you need to know is where is every card relative to every other card, which sounds a lot worse than it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these cards in half. I cut the deck basically exactly in half. And if we look at what's going on with the halves, you'll see the pattern that ends up being used. So this is the bottom half. This is the top half. Notice at the top half, they're exactly the same. As I go through, what's happening is the rank, the number that's on there is exactly the same. The color is exactly the same. And all I'm doing is alternating from one to the other. And no matter how many cards up and down we go, that's exactly how they're ordered. So in each half, I don't care about placement. What I care about from a placement point of view is where is one relative to the other in the top half and the bottom half. So in the top half and the bottom half of the deck, I have exactly this idea that a black 9 is the same spot up and down. Or the top card is a red jack on one, what's a red jack on the other. And that's the property that we can use to come up with any particular point. So if I do this face up, I cut it, and each time I cut it, it's not changing that property. the top half and the bottom half are still exactly in the same order, same rank, same color. So someone comes and picks out a deck, a card from the deck. There it is. Now, that is the card that went here. If I know the card that's right above it, then what that tells me is it's going to be the card that's after a red ace. So I can look through the other half of the deck, find the red ace, and once I know what the red ace is, the card that shows up after it is going to be the corresponding card. It's going to tell me the rank and the color, and then I'll be able to use that. So if I put this back in this way, the way it was, then I'm going to bury that red ace and I'm not going to lose that information. So the key to the trick is to be able to preserve this red ace. And so I put the card down and then I make sure that what was originally on the top now goes onto the bottom. So the top half and the bottom half switch. So when I flip it over, that red ace, which is the one that's on top of this, is now tells me, hey, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm now looking for the other red ace. So I'm looking. I know the top front half, it's not going to be there because it's about halfway. There it is. And this has the 10 of spades, which when I flip over now, the 10 of spades looks on top, even though it was originally below it. So that tells me it's the black 10 that's going to go here. And since the 10 of spades is used up, that tells me it has to be the 10 of clubs. And then I put that on and put it here, and then you can recut and do it all over again. The fact that each half can be put in any order that it needs to ends up making it harder to see the pattern. So if someone, ask them to stop, they tell me to stop on this card. When I put it down, I immediately put this pile, which was a top, on the bottom. So that tells me the card above this was now the 7 of hearts. So now I look for a red 7. I really start looking about halfway. There's a red 7. It's on top, going this way, of a black ace. So this is the other black ace or the ace of clubs. And that's how you can use the math position to make it look like you've memorized where every card is in a deck. Hope you enjoyed this little video. Please feel free to check out the other ones on our site or check out our YouTube page. We now have a YouTube channel of Misericordia Math where all of these are located. Thank you again.